Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
3rd and long. It's gone. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
So a long field ahead for the Ravens to start things out. Commanding the offense will be Lamar Jackson, the electric quarterback out of the University of Louisville.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10.
No, check, Patriot!
Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. The numbers for him from a week ago: 25 carries, 95 yards.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they keep handing him the football?
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps
energizing offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. There to make the tackle, Samson Abuka.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here's Jackson. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Mark Barron able to drop him for a loss of 4. There's Jackson on 3rd and long. He may try and run for this. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there, trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field. They'll indeed go for it with Jackson. And this is incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game, and that will force a turnover on downs. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room?
Yeah.
Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. And what they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. A shotgun snap for Goff. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. First down, L.A. Goff finding Higbee.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now the starters on the defensive side of the ball for the Ravens. They were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, the head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Throwing on 3rd. Goff. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Oftentimes you say some guys have a knack for creating turnovers. He forced a fumble last week, forces another one.
And one of my good coaching buddies, Frank Delano, always told me, hey, Davis, creating turnovers is not as much about skill as it is about desire.
Oh, I thought it was going to be will, because will rhyme with skill.
Come on,
man. With desire. We'll go with desire.
What are you, the rhyme master now?
Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Buying time to his left. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield. On 3rd down, that's Marshall. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on 4th down. They'll run for it with Marshall. He needed a couple, but he didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Rams are going to take possession of the turnover on downs. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at the 40. Following the penalty, it's Gurley. Oh, and now he bowls him over. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
On 1st down, it's Gurley. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And facing a very tough 3rd and 19 here after both of those running plays went backwards. Out of the gun, Goff. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. Here's Johnny Hekker now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Michael Brockers in on the stop.
So after what we just saw, we know that with 3rd down coming up, this is not a gimme for the offense. They've got to figure out what they want to do. Do they challenge their offensive line and try and run it? Or do they go ahead and concede that this is a tough defense and put it in the air?
The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. From the gun, it's Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Steps away to his left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll run with Marshall. And he's got room. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today. And it's a fumble. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Goff. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
The Rams on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. To throw is Goff. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for L.A. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's had it working pretty well here in this first half up until that last drive when he put it on the turf, Charles.
So I don't think they want to overreact to that fumble, because now you've got a guy that's played so well. You don't want to take him and limit his effectiveness by worrying about it too much. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if we saw him next week at meetings. He'd have a football with him at all times.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now, 1st and 10. Jackson now down around his goal line, eluding the pressure right. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. Throwing again. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Third and 2. Here's Jackson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. So they took a shot there on third down. Couldn't get it. Now it's 4.
I remember Philip Dorsett coming out of the University of Miami ready to hit the league. All we talked about was speed, speed, speed. Just throw it to him, and you've got a great chance at a completion, but not that time.
Not that time. They tried a deep downfield with his speed, but incomplete. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on fourth down, and they're going to go for it. Here we go on fourth down with Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And they're going to get the first down here across the 15-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
Detroit!
To throw again. Jackson over the middle, complete. That's Andrews. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jackson on first down. Flushed out right. Going deep downfield. Intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And we will likely not see another play here as they take the knee and head into the intermission all tied. So plenty of action on the field, but no action right now on the scoreboard, at least as of yet. 0-0 is our score. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll start up in the Steel City, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, where it was the home team who were able to hold serve and get a victory in their stadium. 21-13, your final score. From there, we head down south to Tampa to check on the Bucs at home at Raymond James Stadium. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Houston Texans. 28-10, the final. Finally, let's get over to Carson, see what's happening with the Chargers at home at the StubHub Center. And they've got the lead over the visiting Denver Broncos. Keenan Allen, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Meanwhile, in our game, to call it a defensive battle would be an understatement. 0-0 is our score. We'll be looking for something in that second half as we send it back to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. After a rare scoreless first half, these teams now just looking for something as the second half gets underway. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. There are 0 points on the scoreboard for either side. It'll be interesting to see what adjustments were made. The defenses have obviously been great.
So if you like defense, this is a classic game. This is what you're looking for. But now you're trying to figure out how to gain any type of an advantage on offense. Is it through a big chunk play that they haven't seen before? Or is it just running your regular offense and running it better, trying to create an opportunity?
We'll see which avenue they choose to go down. They go play action with Jackson. Flush to his right. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
The Ravens on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. From the gun, Jackson got his man complete over the middle. It's Andrews. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
They'll try and throw for it here. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Now Jackson on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Jackson will throw again. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Andrews. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. On 3rd and 1, Jackson got a man. It's Ross, complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Now a handoff working right. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. And they'll run it here. And some space here. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. On the give, this is their fullback. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Now, how about that call handed to the big guy in that situation? Normally you think of him as a real short yardage runner, but in this case they trust him to get a few more yards than that. I remember an old New York Giants quarterback, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, telling me he loves offense coordinators who call the plays with a little bit of abandon.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens are in for 6. Well, these two teams battled through a scoreless first half. Finally, a breakthrough here in quarter number 3.
And I just wonder how that played for both of them psychologically, because when you battle through a scoreless first half, now you know that every possession is increasingly crucial. Who can put points on the board, make the other team chase? Wonder if you get a lift and if they get deflated a little bit.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Gone. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So Goff, he'll try to refocus after the sack. The Rams now set up with a tough one, a 3rd and long. Now Goff. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Johnny Hekker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, Jackson. Left side, it's Dorsett. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. A big play that time for the Ravens. 46 yards.
Watch it now, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They go play action here on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Mark Barron. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at the 34.
Like 20.
After the interception, here's Goff. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. He is proving his worth defensively, getting the sack here. That comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going,
let's get down. Here's Goff. Throw complete right side to Cooks. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in that.
Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the 4th and final quarter. From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's Johnny Hekker now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at about the 14. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Delay of game, offense.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run. And just lost track, and it cost him.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15.
Gone! Detroit!
Now it's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? they've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
Detroit! Detroit!
Here's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to send this one deep right side. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to, you and your brothers just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though.
Here we go now. Blue landed. Blue landed.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. This is Marshall. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Marshall. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And able to find Dorsett. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Leopard!
taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll go with the keeper, and he is going to lose yardage here. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1.
No, Jack, Patriot!
They come out here in the eye. It's a quarterback sneak, and I don't think he got in. The big bodies up front held him at the 1. 3rd and goal. This L.A. Rams defense will try to bow up once more. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. This time Jackson will throw it, and he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Ravens will extend their lead.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt away the game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Goff on 1st down. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Clock continuing to roll as the Rams try to get going again. Here's Goff now on 2nd down. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
3rd and long. It's gone. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. They find some open field here. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Now Marshall. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Jackson looking to throw on third. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for Baltimore, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Rams, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the New Orleans Saints. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.